Hi everybody, I'm Pia from Stitches and Scraps. Today I'm going to show you how to make this white ash leaf. This tutorial goes along with a full written pattern and the chart. We'll be referencing the chart mostly in the tutorial. You can get the pattern and chart at the link in the description on this video if you're watching it on YouTube, or directly in my blog post if you're watching it on my blog. This is a 2-row pattern that starts here with the foundation chain, and then we have row 1 that goes around both sides of the chain, and then row 2 goes all the way around row 1, and that's the pattern. The actual chart image shows row 1 in a different color just so that it's clear to see which stitches belong to row 1, but I only have a black and white printer. So I'm trying something new on this chart of putting this dashed line also in the same color, connecting the stitches of row 1 so that even if you print it out in black and white, you still can see which stitches are supposed to go together. I would really appreciate any feedback on that. If you like it or don't like it, it's something new that I'm trying out, so let me know what you think. Okay, let's get started with our foundation chain, which starts right here. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 chains. So we're going to make 17 chains. I've made all my chains. Now, one thing you can do if you don't want to worry too much about your count is just make a few extra chains, and at the end you can rip out any extra chains that are left over when you get to the end of the row. But I've made exactly the right number. This first chain is our turning chain. So row 1 starts with a slip stitch in the second chain, the third chain, and the fourth chain. So let's do those. And I like to work in the back bump just as a matter of habit. On this pattern, it really doesn't matter. Work into the chain however you prefer, because you're going to be working on both sides of it anyway. So it won't show at all, whatever you do. So that little 3 slip stitch bit there, that is our stem. Now I'm going to chain 2. And that's not going to count as a stitch, which you can tell because there's nothing worked into it and I'm not skipping a chain underneath it. It's just to get up to the height. So I'm going to chain 2 and then double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. So there's my chain 2, and then I double crochet in 1, 2 chains. Okay, now these are treble crochets here, so I'm going to treble crochet in the next 3 chains. A treble crochet is like a double, but you do an extra yarn over and an extra pull through step. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's what makes it a treble crochet. 2 yarn overs, pick up my loop, and then 1, 2, 3 for a treble crochet. So there's 2 treble crochets and I need 1 more. There are 3 treble crochets. Now I do another 2 double crochets, so double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. And then I've got 4 half double crochets. So in the next 4 chains, I'm doing a half double crochet. Okay. Now I'm going to do a single crochet 2 together in the last 2 chains. So that is this chain here, I pick up a loop, and this last chain here, I pick up a loop. Okay, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and that's my single crochet 2 together. Then I'm going to do a chain 2 to get me a little bit of a point, and then I'm going to start working on the opposite side of the chain with a single crochet 2 together on the opposite side. So chain 2. Now I'm going to pause here for a quick note. This chain 2 can be a little bit hard to see when we work back into it the next time. If it helps you, you can put a stitch marker or a safety pin or whatever you have handy around the whole chain of the chain 2 to kind of mark that this is where you're going to be putting your hook next time. And that's not in the chain, that's literally like around the whole chain 2 space right there. Now I turn to work on the opposite side of the chain, and right in that same first chain, I'm going to start my single crochet 2 together. So I'm going to pick up a loop in that one, and then I'm going to pick up a loop in the next one, which is right here. Yarn over, pull through all 3. That's that. Now I do 4 half doubles, and this is not exactly completely symmetric, so don't just assume you're doing the same thing on this side as you are on that side, because leaves aren't completely symmetric, right? So I'm doing 4 half doubles, so half double in the next 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this time I'm doing just 1 double crochet here and then 3 trebles. Let's do that. So 1 double crochet and then 3 trebles. There's the 3 trebles. 2 double crochet, and then I'm going to do a double crochet 2 together, and that's going to mimic the angle of this chain 2 here. So really this chain 2 combined with this double crochet sort of works like a double crochet 2 together, and that's what I'm doing here. So it's 2 doubles and then a double crochet 2 together. So double, double, and then a double crochet 2 together. You work the first half of the first double till you have 2 loops left on your hook. Then you start the next double. There we go. And you work the first half of that one, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. You yarn over and pull through all 3 at once, and that's basically 2 double crochets that are combined at the top. So that is our row 1. And I know it looks a little boxy here, but that will get fixed in the next row. But that's row 1, which is the center of our leaf. For row 2, we're going to start here and work around this way. I'm calling row 2 the right side row, but of course you can flip your leaf either way that you prefer. We start with a chain 2, which technically counts as a half double crochet here, but again, it doesn't really matter because we're not working another row back into it. So we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to work a half double crochet in the next stitch. So chain 2, and then in the next stitch, a half double crochet. Now I'm going to work a double crochet in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. And then another half double crochet and then a single crochet 2 together. So there's my half double and there's my single crochet 2 together. Okay. Now this is the part where I said that the marker might be a little helpful. We're going to do 3 slip stitches, 1 in the half double, 1 in the single crochet 2 together, and then the last one in the chain 2 space, which is where our marker is right there. Okay, so we do 1 in the half double, 1 in the single crochet 2 together, and then right where our marker is, right there, I saw the little hole. It's a tight little hole, but you don't want to make it bigger, otherwise it gets floppy. So there we go, 1 right there in that chain 2 space. Now I'm going to remove the marker in a second. I chain 2 to make another little point, and then I slip stitch back in that same chain 2 space, and then I remove the marker. So it gets in your way a little bit, just move it out of your way. Chain 2, single crochet back, or not single crochet, slip stitch back into that same space and remove the marker. Okay, so that's our point that we've done. Now I do 2 more slip stitches and then a single crochet 2 together. So I'm going to take a break here and move this tail to the other side of the work so that it's not in our way. There we go. So I do 2 slip stitches, 1, 2, and then I'm going to do a single crochet 2 together. Okay. Whoop. 2 half double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. And I finished with a half double crochet in top of that last double over there. So there's my half double. And that is round 2, and I can go ahead and fasten that off. So cut the yarn, pull this loop out, and there's our leaf. Now you can help the shape here a little bit when you weave in your ends. Just pull it down like this and weave around the end there. Do you see how that kind of pulls that curve back in place? And then blocking is of course important with any pattern really, but especially a small applique like this. It stops all that curving and curling that's going on naturally and flattens it out. Let's go ahead and weave in just this one end so I can show you what I'm talking about with the shaping. Do you see how right now without it woven in it's a little boxy right at that spot right there? When we weave it in, if we just go through the stitch next to it, I want to pull it this way, right? So just go through 1 or 2 stitches along the edge next to it and then pull it out to the back. And now you've smoothed that curve and you can finish weaving in the tail as you normally would. And then wash it, pin it out to block it, and you get a leaf like this. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, or leave me a comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great videos. Thanks for watching.